Hello, everybody. I'm Susan Woods, your self-appointed Black Lives Matter fraud investigator. Thank you for your time. It's 2024. This marks my fourth year of investigating the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in the way that $90 million that people donated in 2020 was squandered by Patrice Concours and her cohorts. Oh, yes, I'm continuing the investigation, like I promised. I'm continuing until I uncover as much as I possibly can. And articles are still popping up to this day about this tragedy. So I'm still investigating. Where I left off last year was I was investigating the Form 990 information return for 2020 for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, reading it line for line and sharing my results or red flags with you. I'm going to pick up on that and finish that. But I also have something else I want to share with you that's very surprising and exciting. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But, people tell me, even my sibling told me, it's over. They won. They got over. They got the money. Forget about it. Nobody cares now. Or do people really care anymore? They're talking about that? No. I can look at the views on my channel, my YouTube channel. I can look at when I first started talking about Black Lives Matter in 2020. I had thousands of views. Now I barely get 200. That's okay. I don't care. I'm not doing it for the views. I'm doing it to share information about a fraud. So let me tell you why I'm taking so much time out of my life to do this work, to do this investigation. It's personal. It's personal. It's personal because I operated a nonprofit organization from 2003 until 2013 for 10 consecutive years. I know firsthand how hard it is to get donations, to get grant money. You have to jump through hoops backwards to get money from people, from grant funders. It's an all-out war. And we had a good service. It was the Emerging Leaders Mentorship Program for Black male youth. That's the second program we offered. The first program I offered was Panorama Computer Learning. Now with Panorama Computer Learning, the first program, I traveled around with laptop computers teaching people 40 years and over how to use Microsoft products because they had lost their jobs. The manufacturing industry had gone downhill in the early 2000s. So I was helping them get the job skills. I had gotten approval from the Employment Security Commission to be certified to provide these classes so that they could go back to the Employment Security Commission and take tests. That's what I did for the first 5 years, 2003, 2008. 2008, 2013, we started the Emerging Leaders Mentorship Program for Black male youth, okay? And that program provided a holistic, proactive approach to preparing Black male youth to be leaders in their homes, communities, and future professions. I still remember the vision. And it was so successful. We targeted 10 through 18-year-olds. It was very successful, but the job of generating revenues, which was my job because we had Black men actually facilitate the classes, my job and other women were in the background raising money. It was so difficult. And we were doing good work. Quantifiable data supported that. So that's the reason why I'm so angry. Let me tell you something that's deeply personal. There were times when I would not pay my mortgage, and I would use that money for the program. So to know that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation received $90 million between the end of May and the end of October of 2020 and just squandered it on their own personal desires makes me angry. Another reason I'm angry. When in the history of America have you ever seen people from all walks of life support Black people on one accord? When have you seen that? If you can remember now, in May, June 2020, when all those riots and marches were going on, that was COVID time. We were in the heart of COVID with no vaccination. People were marching with masks on. I can imagine there were so many people who acquired COVID during that time because they were out in the open, marching, yelling, screaming with Black Lives Matter signs. When in the history of America have you seen people from all over the world upset about the way George Floyd died? Let me tell you a little secret. This is what I believe. I believe people were more upset about Derek Chauvin's behavior than George Floyd dying. I know that sounds terrible. But that image of a white man looking intentionally into the camera, knowing he's being recorded, with his knee pressing against this Black man's neck, and hearing the Black man begging for his life, and he put his hands in his pocket to give it more pressure. That's what caused people to be outraged. You know why I say that? I say that because if we were really outraged about a Black man dying, the outrage should have been through the roof when Walter Scott was killed, being shot in the back, running away from a police officer in Charleston, South Carolina. Running away for his life. And this man took a stance and shot him in the back. And then walked up to him like he was a dead deer to make sure he was dead. No compassion, no sorrow. And then a Black cop, nobody talks about this Black cop. A Black cop came, walked up to the Black man laying on the ground, did not render aid, did not do a thing, did not even get on his knees to see if he was alive or dead. Standing there, knowing the white man shot him in the back, and they were going to make up a lie, but they had a video. Now, if there should have been outrage about a Black man being killed, that should have been it. Not to say George Floyd wasn't worthy or deserving, but I'm saying Derek Chauvin, his whole arrogant demeanor is where the outrage came from. I certainly was for me. I was sorry about George Floyd dying, but that way he looked in that camera like, I don't give a such and such about what y'all think. I'm killing this Black man because I know I'm going to get away with it. That's how they got $90 million. Now, Patrice Khan-Coolers and her cohorts, there's evidence that she's purchased mansions, she's done all these things. She said because she's an adjunct professor and she sells books. But I've shown you through my research how she's given her, the father of her son, over $900,000 to record videos, to be a videographer. How she gave her brother hundreds of thousands of dollars to be a security guard. Well, he had no security guard experience. He was a graffiti artist. And how Shalimar Bowers, who ironically now is on the board of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, his consulting firm received $2 million. Squandered the money. Over $1 million for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation headquarters in Canada. Another $1 million for a location in California for a retreat. She treated the money like a bank account, a personal bank account. And that makes me angry. Because there would never be another time in history that people will come to our aid to give money to help the Black community in general the way they did. It would never happen again because the credibility is gone. The ripple effect, let me tell you about the ripple effect. The ripple effect is that Black-led organizations now are scrutinized at a higher level than ever before, because it's like, yeah, right, you're going to use the money to do what? Okay, yeah. Like Black Lives Matter did? Like Black Lives Matter did? Okay. That's where we are. We've been pushed back by this whole fiasco. It pushed us back. It's harmed our credibility. We have to do more now to prove worthiness for what we're doing. Another impact, the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs of major corporations that they threw together to try to appease Black people, DEI programs, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is saying that we're going to make sure Black people have opportunities at these major corporations. They are going away, honey. They are canceling them. Google it. Google DEI and see how many major corporations have canceled that program. It's like, okay, we're moving on now. We pretended that we cared about Black people moving up in the country, in the company, after the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation and the Black Lives Matter movement and all of that. They're getting rid of those positions. They're thinking they're not needed. That's the backlash from what they did. And I just don't understand why the IRS has not investigated this organization. I don't get it. I don't get it. The IRS allowed this organization to bamboozle people. If I did that with my nonprofit organization, I would be in jail. For the little bit of money that we raised, if I mishandled that money, I would be in jail. And the Form 990 information return from 2020 that I am examining right now, I mean, there are so many red flags, and we're not even finished examining it yet. Who reviewed it at the IRS? Who reviewed that Form 990 information return for 2020? It is ridiculous. Where's the FBI? Where's the California Secretary of State? He said he was going to investigate the organization. I haven't heard anything from that yet. Nevertheless, I'm going to keep going because this is a travesty. They exploited Black pain for their personal financial gain. How many people benefited financially from George Floyd dying? His family got millions of dollars donations, and then they got the big settlement from the city. His family did. Ben Crump, the lawyer, got millions of dollars probably representing people. The Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation and the people running it treated it like a piggy bank. The young lady who recorded the video of Derek Chauvin killing George Floyd, she even got thousands of dollars from people donating to her mental health. Not to say that it's not deserving, I'm just saying. She even benefited from George Floyd dying. And the sad part about it is George Floyd was allegedly stopped for trying to cash or use a $20 counterfeit bill. All of the millions of dollars that were generated because he died, he was trying to pass off allegedly a $20 counterfeit bill. I haven't even heard if that was really true or not. And so many people, his little girl, Madonna, gave her some stock options. You know, so many people benefited off this man's death. But my focus is on the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. You know, I looked at the other chapters of Black Lives Matter, and they all benefited from his death, but this is the main one. So that's why I'm honing in on that one. Now, what I wanted to share with you. This is unbelievable. I've been approached to write a book. I've been approached to write a book about what I've been learning in my research. Isn't that amazing? Now, so that I'm not a hypocrite, so that I don't exploit Black pain for financial gain, I'm going to donate the proceeds. If I make a penny, if whatever I make, I don't even know. I'm just being optimistic. If the book sells anything, I'm going to donate it to a nonprofit that I would announce to you later so that you can track, so that you can investigate me. Make sure that I'm keeping my word. It won't be for me. Whatever proceeds, if any proceeds comes from the book, it won't be for my benefit. It'll be for the benefit of another organization that's passionate, that I'm passionate about, that keeps good records. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for supporting me, encouraging me to keep up the good fight. Thank you so much for lifting me up when Black people call me a sellout. I don't care. I really don't. Because if you're okay with people exploiting your people, then I don't want to be your friend anyway. Okay? I'm glad you don't like me, because I wouldn't want to be in your company anyway, the way my grandma used to say, in your company. The book should be published in June, in honor of Juneteenth, our celebration time of freedom. I'll keep you posted on that. But in the meantime, start looking for my posts, start looking for my research, my fraud investigative reports. I'm going to start posting those again real soon. Happy New Year, everybody, and thank you for your support. I'm Susan Woods, your self-appointed Black Lives Matter fraud investigator. I'm still on the case. Have a great day.